Alrighty, let's get started. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming out to A2NewTech tonight. My name is David Nesbitt. I'm your host, and appreciate everyone for making time to be here during the holiday week. I'm sure lots of busyness going on. This startup has been around since, this meetup has been around since 2009. We've had 100 plus meetups, 300 plus companies have been here, and over 6,900 members at this point, and climbing. And last year we had 60 pitches at our meetup events. So we do this every third Tuesday of the month. We'd love to have you back in December as well. So questions, you get a sense of who's in the room. Who's the first time out at A2NewTech? Raise your hand. All right, awesome. So like almost half the room, which is great. Who's hiring in the room? A few people. And who's looking for a new position, on the lookout for something new? A few people, probably a couple more. Okay, awesome. So lots of people to connect here. We'd love to have you stick around and come to Pete's house afterwards. Have some free pizza, meet some people. It's the best way to really meet a lot of the folks who are in the room. And so make sure to join us at that networking if you're hiring or looking for something or just trying to make some more connections. But there's a wonderful tech ecosystem here in Ann Arbor. And this group really helps us to make the most of it and connect more and to know more of the people that are involved in that ecosystem. And so I encourage you to come back monthly for this and meet more people and build more relationships. Because this time it really helps us to learn about what's going on in the community. So we're going to hear pitches tonight from 5 great companies, 4 from the Michigan area, and then 1 from Toledo who came to visit. And you're also going to get to meet other people here who are involved in building and shaping the future of tech in Ann Arbor. And so you never know who you're going to bump into. That will play a big part in the next couple years for you, or that you'll be able to help with their next step. Another thing to note, we all want to have a supportive tech community here in Ann Arbor, I think. It's one of the reasons we're in the room tonight, and so we can help make that happen. So tonight, see if there's a way you can help someone out, make an introduction for them, help them learn something, get them connected to a resource that would be helpful for them. So keep that in mind as you're talking. We each have our own kind of ideas of what we're trying to get out of the event, but also think about everybody else and try to make sure that everyone else can leave with something helpful for them. And again, afterwards we are going to have pizza provided by Ann Arbor Spark over at Pizza House. And so it's just a couple blocks away. You can take the chili walk, huddle together for warmth on the way over, and join us for that. Before the next meetup, which is December 18th, you can still stay connected with the tech community that's represented in this room and people that weren't able to make it in our Slack channel. And you can find and join that Slack channel at madeina2.com/Slack. So in there you're going to find a variety of different channels of different topics, general announcements, open jobs, and more. Been a lot of discussion in the general channel recently, and just really great to see people engaging and talking about the community here in Ann Arbor and opportunities to make it better for tech and have more opportunities here. And so I encourage you to jump on there, chime in the conversations, be involved, and meet more people that way. I want to say a quick couple thank yous to people that helped to make this event happen, people and organizations that support this event. A2 Geeks is a nonprofit dedicated to making Southeastern Michigan and Ann Arbor a great place for geeks and creatives to live, work, and play. Rayle does our video every month, and if you have any video needs or want to hire him for this type of work or any others, look up R2Vibe, his company. Let's give Roger a round of applause just for If you know someone who wasn't able to make it, maybe because of the holiday season, something else, Roger will post the link to the video recording of the session in the comments within the next couple of days after the meetup. And so take a look there, copy it, send it out to someone else. Maybe it'll be a little later with the holiday, but he'll get it up there. And so you can send that out. There's also a variety of co-organizers that have helped make this meetup happen over the years. Doug Song, Zach Steinler, Scott Gosey, David Bloom, David Corcoran, Brian Kelly, Brooke Boyle, and more. So these are people that we appreciate who helped make this event happen, curated speakers, and really supported it. The Entrepreneurship Clinic at the U of M Law School is actually how we get this room every month to be able to meet. And so they're a big help to our meetup. Dana Thompson's the founding director of Michigan Law's Entrepreneurship Clinic. And if you're a company in Michigan, especially a startup, you can get free IP, corporate, and various legal services from law students here at the university. So it's a great resource. You should take advantage of it if you can. Had someone message me last time about that after the meetup to get more information and get connected with Laura Schiltz, who's the clinic administrator. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to Laura, or you can reach out to me, and I'll pass on her contact information to you so you can get hooked up and look into what they can help you with. Lastly, Ann Arbor Spark, who's our pizza sponsor for the night. They're picking up the tab, which we really appreciate. They're committed to bringing together organizations and individuals to support the growth of companies and the creation of jobs here in southeastern Michigan around Ann Arbor. So that's our thank yous, and we appreciate all those people and orgs for making this happen, as it is a really valuable meetup. And I think the attendance tonight shows that a lot of people here are taking advantage of this and benefit from this group. Agenda for tonight, just a quick rundown. We're going to go until about 8 p.m. in this room and then head over to Pizza House. We'll have 5 companies doing a 5-minute pitch each with a 5-minute Q&A following each pitch. And then lastly, we'll have community announcements at the end. We'll have a time you can come up and make a 1 to 2 minute announcement about an event you're hosting or helping to promote, a collaborator you're looking for on a project, a position you're hiring for or looking for. So think about what yours is now, and then we'll have everyone line up and come make their announcement for the community announcement at the end. During the Q&A portions after the pitches, if you have a question you want to ask, raise your hand and we'll call on you as we might have a variety of people that are wanting to ask questions. And it's going to be tempting to want to give feedback. A lot of you have experience, running companies, working with tech companies, and so might want to give some, an advice or opinion. But please make sure to just really ask it in the form of a question for this forum, so you give them a chance to respond to help the whole audience learn more and engage more. And so really give them something to respond to in the form of a question and not just a piece of advice. So that is everything for our announcements. We're going to kick it off with our pitches tonight with Larky, and Greg Hammerman's here to pitch. So I'll have him come up and get connected. And so Larky is a simple to implement code library that powers location-driven communications and detailed location-based analytics for any mobile app. So a fun fact that Greg told me about Larky is that CNN Money in 2014 named Larky as one of the best 15 financial apps and sites. So we're going to hear more about what Larky's all about.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thank you guys for being here. I'm super excited to tell you all about what we're doing at Larky. So there's a problem that we realize in the world, and that problem is there's all kinds of organizations, and when we think about organizations, it may be alumni associations, banks, credit unions, healthcare providers, that are really trying to build this bond with their audience. You may have a relationship with them, that you're paying them money or have your money in a certain bank, but they really don't know that much about what you're doing, and they're really trying to think about how they can connect with you when you're out and about in the world. And on the other side of this, for us as consumers, our attention is completely fragmented, right? So we're moving around between work and school and home, and we have our phones, and we're not looking at our email, and we've got social media. And so we're really they're trying to reach us, but our attention span is very fragmented. So what we do as a company, Larky really helps organizations understand their customers and build those essential relationships. So we have developed this very powerful toolkit that enables people to connect at the right time and place and deliver a meaningful return on investment. This problem is a big problem, actually. We focus right now on the 13,000 community financial institutions, banks and credit unions. But really, it's the same sort of problem with publishers, with insurance providers for health, life, and other. Automotive dealers have this problem, are coming to us now. Trade associations, alumni associations, all with that same idea of how do we connect and build this bond, and how do we really know our audience and the people who are working with us today. So here's what they're trying to do today. They are spending $8 billion a year on billboards alongside the highway. This is a true billboard that I grabbed from somewhere. $18 billion on radio, $71 billion on TV. And really what they're doing is saying there's a single attribute, right? So we're watching the Michigan game on TV and they say, hey, people who watch Michigan football, they might want to buy cars. We'll advertise cars to those guys. What we're doing is we're turning this around and we're saying we can deliver a better solution to connect, really based on multi-factor behaviors, where people are, what they're doing, not just that they're watching a single game. And so this is what it looks like. This is actually Rayle. This is a client of ours in Madison, Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union. They came to us and said, here's the problem. We want to know when one of the members of our credit union is at an auto dealer. We want to know when they're there for at least a couple minutes, and they're there during business hours, and when they're there, we want to pop up on their phone and give them this message that tells them that their credit union is willing to help them pay for that car. And so we target their audience in that way. We deliver this for them. We deliver the analytics of who went to that car dealer, who tapped on this notification. We deliver the customer. When they tap on it, it goes to the website for the credit union. And that's part of the ROI I was mentioning earlier, that it is true financial gain for them to say, hey, we finance more loans, we help more of our members. This is just one example of someone using our technology. with the code library that we've built, we made it super easy for anybody to build this into any mobile app, Android or iOS. And what we really wanted to deliver was this dashboard where a non-technical person, we didn't want to leave it to a programmer, so it could be a marketing person at a credit union, could be a junior person at any organization, says, here's where I want someone to be when I pop up a notification, here's how close, here's the hours of the day, here's how fast they're traveling, here's the message we want to pop up for them, and here's what we want to have happen when someone taps on it, and here's the analytics we care about. And so that is now something that's easy to embed in apps based on our code library. We currently work with clients in 26 states across the country, 3 provinces in Canada. Some of them are as small as an audience of 5,000 people they're trying to reach. Some are 500,000. They include people you might know, like Health Alliance Plan and Ann Arbor State Bank here locally. Also credit unions and banks across the country and other types of organizations. Our core team has more than 2 years of working together to build this thing out. Our CTO went here and got his computer science degree and then had 10 years of doing consulting and building out his experience. COO's got a 10-year entrepreneurial background. This is my 4th startup. One of them exited Thomson Reuters, and I was recently told is now 50 million in revenue per year, so that's kind of cool. Another one exited to Meet Me, which was kind of fun. They're a public company. Well, the other one's an ongoing concern that's still growing, and Larky is the 4th, so I'm working to make sure they all get success here. What I'm looking for today, a couple of things. Paid, yeah, I said that right, I heard a couple of people like look up. Yeah, paid testers. With our code library, we want people who will embed this in iOS and Android apps. It could be a project you want to do one evening. It doesn't have to be something you're launching to the whole world. We want feedback from people to tell us, this is what's great about what you've built, this is what could be better about what you've built. So my email address on the bottom there, I will be at Pizza House. Please come up to me. If you develop iOS, Android, you want to give it a shot, we will pay you real money to do this. Malazai is a company probably no one in this room has heard of. They do mobile banking technology for about 400 banks. They are embedding our code library in 2019. And so we want you and others to bang on it and tell us how to make it better before it goes out to 400 clients across the country. We're also looking for developers. As I mentioned in the previous slide, I am not the CTO, but the CTO gave me all kinds of fancy things to put up there. If you know those things, talk to me and I'll hook you up with our CTO. The things that are in green and bold are essentials, basically. And graphic design assistants is the 3rd thing we're looking for. I am at the end of my 5 minutes, so we'll move into questions.
Alrighty, what questions do we have for Greg? Right here.
Are you, just got a quick question. So is it kind of like geofencing?
We use geofencing. Somebody said geofencing on steroids. So geofencing is there, but one of the things we had to figure out was how not to use battery. So we sort of optimized a couple of different things and build fences in some very specific ways. We don't use beacons or any of that kind of technology.
Others?
Rudy, have you ever used this sort of thing inside of a game engine,
No,
like Unity or Unreal?
I'm not.
Well, I want to talk to you.
That sounds great.
In the back row?
What are some big pain points you've had hiring development talent?
It's an interesting question. I'm very thankful for the talent we have now, I'll say that. I think it's hard to make sure there's a match, right? So it's nothing against people who've applied, but there's got to be a match in sort of culture and how we all work together. So besides the basic skill sets that have to be there, we've gotten to a sort of mode of we like to bring in bright people, have them work on something we really need done, pay them sort of a contract fee, and then get back together and say, is this something you'd want to do more of working with us? Because we had a couple, I'm not shy to say it, a few that it just wasn't a match for what they wanted to do in terms of sort of lifestyle and the work environment that we're in. So that's, culture is probably a bigger one.
Other questions? Yes, right here.
How much are you able to charge for this?
That is a great question. And I only in the 5 minutes didn't have much time to cover it, but all of our clients pay us an upfront fee that's ranged from $5,000 to $25,000, I think, top end. They all pay us a monthly fee that's set, and so as a growing business, it's really nice to say, hey, it's December 1st, send out all the invoices. That monthly fee is variable based on the functionality that we enable for them. So the cool thing about this code library is a very small organization who basically want to kick tires and say, what's this thing do? They may set up basically 20 geofences to say, hey, when people are at these locations, we want to alert them. And that could be a very small fee, it could be a couple $100s a month. We have some very large clients who want the business intelligence and the analytics to feed into their engines to say, here's what we want to know about our clients and how they travel in the world. And those folks are willing to pay closer to $10,000, $15,000 a month. So it's a broad range.
Question right here.
So it sounds like you can tell me grossly where I am in the world, but how about in a building like a hospital? What area am I in?
With the technology that we use, we don't have that fine of resolution.
Okay.
You're also asking some interesting questions. We also think a lot and worry a lot about privacy concerns. So people do ask us, do you know where we are 24 hours a day? And we don't. We know when you cross into certain areas, basically.
What is the, he was kind of getting in on it, but what is like the proximity that you can measure?
It's, for us, it's a 150, 200 yards kind of thing. But, you know, it's, if you have, well, I have iPhone, but we have people on our team that have Android. If you look and say, put me here, you'll notice sometimes that it zeroes you in on the map and then it sort of shifts you a little bit to one side and shifts you to the other. The technology is developing still.
So in terms of what the beacon, can it be mobile? Can it be on somebody? And it changes depending on their location, like the geofencing, can it be centered around like a mobile?
Huh, I'm trying to think what the use case would be. So something, if you want to set up where, hey, if someone's ever near a new Ford car or something that
Let's
it
say
goes
a
up-
food truck.
That's interesting.
That'll be probably the example I can use that's more analogy.
Yeah,
what I'm trying to
yeah.
do.
We haven't looked at doing that. Doesn't seem that technically, there's challenges, but it doesn't seem crazy to do. If you have an idea of something, it'd be fun to talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Question right here.
Just curious, do we have any major competitors, and what do you do to differentiate yourself?
Good question. There are competitors that do elements of what we do. There's companies like Urban Airship that do notifications that aren't super location-based. They're more engagement type things. Like you download an app and haven't reopened it in 7 days, they'll send you a notification. There's other engines that help do sort of sending notifications based on location. But we haven't found one that's as user-friendly for a non-technical person to actually make the changes around it. And that's one of the things we focused really hard on, is to making sure that this is a developer tool to implement once, but it's not a developer burden that you have to sit on this thing all the time. I think there is a uniqueness there that has value for the world.
All right, that's about all the time we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next pitch is Gaudium Incorporated, and Andrew Yang is here to pitch this for us. So Gaudium is a game development startup focused on developing live service games with the anime style aesthetic. And a fun fact about Gaudium is that their company was originally formed by students at U of M in the game development club here on campus. Before they started as a company, the team was focused on developing games to build up their portfolios before they decided to start it as a business.
Okay. Can I start? Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Yang and I'm here to present my company, Gaudium. So what do? We are a game development startup. We focus on developing live service games using the anime Japanese style aesthetic. And our mission is to expand the anime medium for a global audience. So anime, also known as Japanese animation, has become more popular across the world. And with popular IPs such as Pokemon, it is a $15.9 billion industry, and $6 billion comes from outside of Japan and has been growing at a consistent rate. And one of the most interesting things is the growth in this industry has all been driven from the international markets outside of Japan. In addition to this, over 90% of anime fans consider themselves as gamers. So there's a big crossover between people that play games and people that watch anime. And this has caught the eyes of anime media companies who are interested in expanding into video game publishing. The reason for this is they have usually a large fan base that watch through their streaming sites or purchase their products, and they can funnel these users to the games to help monetize, to improve their monetization. And this is especially true because games comprise of 76% of the revenue across all the app stores. But there is a problem with this, especially for Western publishers in the anime business. they have trouble acquiring licenses from Japan. It is very difficult to acquire Japanese IPs, and also there is a lot of infrastructure issues with live service games. For example, they have to not only translate, but they need someone to do live ops and also manage events and customer service in the country. In addition to that, when they try to look for Western game developers, they usually have two problems. One, that they can't do the anime style aesthetic, or that they can't do the live service part of their development. And that's where we come in. So why are we positioned for this? It's because we have experience with developing live service games and specialize in freemium monetization. In addition to this, we have relationships with top anime style illustrators from across the world. They've worked on popular Japanese and Korean anime games, and they can provide us this authentic anime style aesthetic. In addition to that, our company has a relationship with animation studio Poirot. They work for popular anime series for production IG, such as Attack on Titan, and they have also worked on our projects for Armor Blitz, our previous product, on an anime trailer, and they plan to work with us in the future. So a little bit of traction and background about our company. We were founded in 2016 in Ann Arbor, and as mentioned before, we started in the Wolverine Soft Game Development Club, and then we transitioned and got into the Decide Accelerator program that year. Our team is multifaceted. Everyone that works on the business side of things can also work on a technical aspect of game development, whether it is on the art side or on the programming side. In addition to that, we also have relationships through our connections with artists in South Korea and animation studios in Taiwan and Japan. So our first product that we launched was Armor Blitz, which was anime characters based off World War II tanks. The game launched in Android of August 2016 with a web launch in July 2017 when we were partnered with a publisher. So as a little bit of traction from this, we have over 450,000 users, and our company has made over $890,000 in lifetime revenue during this time. And this has helped us grow our company and expand as we prepare to ramp up for our next upcoming product. So we are actually working on a new upcoming project right now, and we've recently secured a new publisher partner as of September of this year. And we are planning to use our experience that we've learned from Armor Blitz on this new upcoming game. The details of this title will be coming out in 2019 of next year. So a little bit of information. So what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for funding leads and investors to bring our company to the next level. In addition to this, we're looking for developers that are experienced with Unity game engine and also .NET Server experience to work on an upcoming project. My name is Andrew. Thank you for your time.
All right, questions for Andrew?
Okay.
Right here in front.
What's your target audience for the game?
So for anime style stuff, we are usually targeting the younger audience, but ours is around the millennial range because they're old enough that they can have enough purchasing power to make in-app purchases.
Very back.
So you mentioned you kind of have apps out for Android, but if you're using Unity, you now need to publish to a whole bunch of platforms. Why not try to saturate different platforms like PC or iOS or other things?
It is something that we are expanding into. There is a little bit of complication with, say, iOS particularly because there is a review process. So when you launch on Android, let's say you have a big update. You launch on Android, but then the iOS has issues, then the problem is that you can't basically you're held up. Especially if you have the game ecosystem where both people on both platforms play with each other, but it's something that we are addressing.
Luke, you mentioned that you're looking for leads on funding. How much funding do you need, and is that funding for this project or for?
It is to expand our company, and I don't think we can publicly disclose that in this type of setting right now.
We can talk afterwards.
Yeah.
Other questions? Yes.
What was the biggest challenge coming out of U of M's game development program into like actually starting a company and running a business?
Well, the biggest challenge, is timing, actually. One of the biggest challenges with students is that students, you can kind of grind and work together, but then there's graduation. So the trick was we had to time the game release approximately when everyone was going to graduate to hit the successful momentum so that they can actually continue, right? So that was our challenge that we had to engineer.
Others? Yes.
So you mentioned about issues with some licensing issues with Japanese makers. And what are those typical scenarios you're talking about? What kind of issues there?
There is a variety of issues. One of them is kind of the revenue share. So for example, let's say you have the Japanese game developer, right? They have a Japanese publisher that you have to work with, and then a middleman to handle the live service. And then you're the publisher. You basically have to cut your revenue 4 ways, not including the Google Play and iOS revenue share. So a lot of it's cut out in between. In addition to that, there is the problem with live service games. You have to constantly update the game and constantly do live service, and basically it's a continuous process. So basically you have to have a department that also handles the Western launch of the game as well as your current game in Japan. So basically it can slow down your updating process across all platforms.
I'm not familiar with live service, so question, can you explain what that means?
So a live service game it's not just like a package game where you build the game, you launch it for like $60 and then you're done with it. So instead you launch the game and then you basically constantly update, put new content and improve the monetization and retention of the game over time. The advantage of this is compared to a package game where like 70% of the revenue is obtained within the first month of launch, live service games you can basically keep the revenue basically stable throughout its entire lifetime for years.
Thanks. Other questions? Time for a couple more. Yes.
Is your new project going to be freemium, and how aggressive is the microtransaction scheme going to be?
So it is going to be in the freemium range. As for monetization, we found that it is better to actually monetization isn't quite the most important, it's the retention aspect. So if you're too aggressive in monetization, you can get a lot of money, but then people are going to churn. So the thing is you basically have to focus on getting the retention better, and then that's one difference, a slight difference between Asian games and Western games. Usually you want to improve a better retention, and then the monetization has to be a little lax for the different market differences.
Time for one more? Yes.
Any research, my son does gaming, so any research on how your players actually are working on both sides of the world? So if one breaks down, will that affect a gaming championship or someone winning?
It's a little different from our business sort of aspect, but in theory, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Great, thanks for the question. And our next company to pitch is Arroyo Networks. And so Cedric Kennedy is going to be pitching tonight. And Arroyo Networks is an AI-driven cloud-native network security solution that merges network function virtualization and endpoint security. Fun fact about Arroyo and Cedric is that Cedric's currently working on selling his first startup, a decentralized 3D printing ordering site. And their current company, Arroyo Networks, is located in Houghton, Michigan, up in the UP, but they're going to be moving to Ann Arbor soon.
I don't want that again. Yeah. Okay, your time here. Hi everybody, I'm Cedric Kennedy. I'm the COO at Arroyo Networks. We're located up in Houghton, Michigan right now, so I'm down here visiting the Ann Arbor area. Saw this opportunity, so I thought I'd capture that. And right here, this list is a list of small and medium companies that were forced to close their doors due to a cyber attack. In fact, 60% of all small companies that face a cyber attack close their doors within 6 months. This is absolutely unacceptable. So we've set out to solve this issue. But first, let me tell you why this is happening. On your left side of the screen, you're going to see the traditional approaches. These are firewall appliances that sit on-site, on-premise, and recently we've seen an exponential uptick in the amount of cyber attacks that are occurring. But the focus on these targets have shifted from large enterprises to small and medium companies. and these appliances are costing anywhere between $5,000 and $50,000 a year, and oftentimes the replacement every couple years. So, and small and medium companies just simply lack the amount of resources for that level of commitment. Now, we're starting to see a newer trend within cybersecurity, and we're seeing these cloud solutions. But essentially what's happening are these high-end appliances are being licensed out and masked behind a cloud duct tape, and then serviced out as a cloud solution for your cybersecurity. One, this is still very costly, and for small and medium companies who might not need all the functions found within a Palo Alto Fortinet high appliance, high security machine, they don't have no choice but to adopt all that functionality. It's still very confusing, still very difficult to manage. So here we are. At Rayle Networks, we produce a product called Inflow. It's a ground-up solution. It's completely cloud-native, so we eliminate the hardware appliance completely out of the equation. So taking the large capital expense away and turning it into an operational expense that, one, fits within the budgets for small and medium companies, but two, also fits their security needs. So let me explain to you how this really works. I forgot to take the animations out of this. So on right here, this yellow line, you're going to see this is network traffic. So for example, an incoming email. So a simple connection is made between the small business's router and our connection. So this email is then pushed through our gateway. It's an AI-driven mesh gateway. So these little shields that you're going to see within this gateway, there's probably more realistically like 100 of them. But these are all the security functions that broken up into this very specific responsibilities, allowing the small business to select exactly what security functions they need for their very specific needs for the kind of company that they're running. So we can turn on and off any of these shields. Furthermore, we're also changing the way on how we process the packets or the internet traffic that flows through. Traditionally, this is done as if you're like standing in line for a baseball game. One at a time, your ticket is checked, you're verified as safe, and you're allowed into the ballpark. Same thing happens for network traffic. So we've developed a new way where we can process this traffic in a parallel fashion so it can all be processed at the same time, speeding up that lag time that you would experience on a large network. Lastly, it's an AI-driven, I mentioned that. So essentially, we've built this global security policy that allows companies from around the world to connect to it. What we can do then is start collecting, analyzing, and monitoring this traffic and this data, and detect new emerging threats, and response begin to deploy new security functions faster than the current solutions on the market today. So what is the opportunity that so essentially, one provides a very flexible solution. We can deploy these functions in a matter of minutes, and you can actually choose the features that you need and make changes instantly. Two, it's affordable. Eliminating the capital expense, providing it as a service, we can offer it at a low monthly subscription rate that fits within the budgets for small and medium companies. It's secure. We've essentially basically created our own high-end appliance, providing the same advanced security features, and it's also built for the service providers. Service providers are those who are taking care of these small companies already, acting basically as their IT consultants. What we've done then is created a single unified interface, allowing them complete control to deploy specific security needs remotely, eliminating a lot of costs associated with that. We're currently using an indirect sales model where we sell through the service provider that grants access to hundreds, sometimes thousands of customers. In the United States, there's over 30 million small medium companies across the United States, but about 8 million of them are actually would be in the position to use Inflow today. We know that 86% of them are not secure right now, and there's over 25,000 service providers who are struggling to identify and offer quality security solutions to this portion of the market. We actually lock in the end user by offering a $100 monthly subscription fee, and then we provide a la carte features for more advanced functions for a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, based on your specific needs. We've currently raised $150,000 from friends and family. We are currently in the piloting process. We've wrapped up 3 pilots. We're currently doing some testing there. We're a little ahead of schedule from this graph here. And we're also in the middle of raising $1.5 million, so we've got several leads there. We've got 3 co-founders, myself, Matt have over 2 decades of experience with network engineering and security. I'm currently selling my first startup. And we've got a board of advisors, Keith Glendon, who's running the worldwide sales and business development for IBM, and Shankar Mukherjee, who's brought several highly successful solutions to market. I'm out of time, so I'm open to any questions.
All right, questions for Cedric? Yes, right here.
This might be a newbie question, but what's the incentive for the cyber attackers to attack small to medium-sized business? It's not like they can gain anything.
Actually, so there's been a huge recent trend from large enterprises. They find it's much easier to target a small company and infiltrate that. So I'd rather target 20 of them than one enterprise. There's still very valuable information that they can attack, Also, we're seeing ransomware attacks. For example, one example is a real life case that we've dealt with was a friend of ours who owned an accounting firm. Their network was hacked. The routing numbers for the bank accounts were rerouted into the hacker's bank account, and millions of dollars was lost. I mean, so they had some type of insurance at that point in time, but their reputation was hurt very much, and he saw that affect him down the road. So,
Others?
Would you mind going back to your little fancy flow?
Yes.
chart?
Oh, one more. One more. This?
Yeah. So where are you, how exactly are you monitoring the traffic, even for small and medium-sized businesses? In most cases, I mean, some of them sort of have crappy equipment of their own, but they usually have a service provider that's providing, both, given that most stuff is cloud-based these days.
Yep.
Where do you actually plug in and connect and monitor the traffic to be able to?
So right now they might be using some type of firewall appliance, and if they are using a high-end appliance, we tell them to get rid of that. Go buy some like $100 little Lindsay router. We IPsec channel that to us or any other type of connection that can, or a couple other different kind of connections that connect to their router.
Okay, because most providers are moving sort of to an all-in-one box these days. You know, it has a router and firewall and everything built in.
Exactly, and then for the service provider too, you know, we've taken away the reason to go do any on-site visits now, so they can remotely deploy these security functions and deploy the exact functions that that company specifically needs with a click of a button through their interface that we've built them.
So what is your product type? Is it a software that you're selling? So you install on an end user computer, sort of like a firewall, something like that. I'm not a computer person, so I'm just trying to keep up with you. Is that what you're selling, a software?
Essentially, so we manage everything at our home base, and we provide an interface that can be played with. So you turn on, turn off any security functions, and then behind the scenes, we do all that work and deploy it. So it actually takes the management out of the hands of both the end user and the service provider, puts it on us, saving everybody a lot of time, a lot of money. So essentially, we are acting as like a software as a service, basically.
So if I buy your software and you monitor emails coming through my terminal, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, so your emails, so any outgoing or incoming traffic, so like your emails, would always hit us before hitting the internet or before it hits your computer.
Thank you.
Yep.
Other questions? Yeah.
Have you talked to like insurance companies or other service providers about, you know, reducing premiums and risk mitigation to help, you know, make this more attractive, right? Offset the costs or anything like that?
We actually haven't. We just competed in the Accelerate competition last week, and 2 people mentioned that. So on our way back home, that's actually on the top of our to-do list. So thank you.
Can you be a little bit more specific about the AI approach you use, and do you have data to show the AI approach is better than the traditional approach?
So we're currently piloting that right now. That's going to go until about March when we do our big hard launch. We're a little ahead of schedule at this point in time. So we've got several people that have agreed. We're using their networks already. So they're actually deploying our security alongside what they've already got in place. So there's not that much risk. There's not very much risk for them if something does go wrong. So right now we're currently working through that, and we're going to be building some case studies to prove what we're saying up here on this screen.
Who do you think your competition is in the market then?
We got a lot of competition. This is one of the fastest growing industries in the world, but I mean, even what I showed you right there, the cloud-based solutions that offer the hardware appliances, mass behind cloud, that's a competitor. We're starting to see other emerging techs that are very similar to what we're providing. I mean, Cato Networks in Israel just raised $50 million, and they're essentially doing exactly what we're doing. But there's a huge race to the market. It's expected to go from $8 billion today to about $90 billion. The market that we're doing, the network function virtualization portion of it, is expected to grow that much in the next 4 years. So it's going to challenge us to race for market share. So our focus has been on the small, medium business portion of this market. Our goal at this point in time is to focus on these little customers, build a great reputation, earn some trust, and slowly work our way up into larger customers at that point.
All right, that's about all the time we have. Thank you.
After the show, I actually can't go to pizza. I'm actually driving back up to Hope, Michigan tonight. So I have my business cards and I've got literature if anyone wants to get me right afterwards.
Awesome.
So it's been a long drive.
Great note. Awesome. Well, let's keep rolling. Our next pitch is Brand XR. And so we have Mahmoud Moody Matin, who is pitching And so as he comes up and gets connected, let me introduce what they do. Brand XR's no-code platform enables someone with zero coding knowledge to create their own XR experience in minutes. And XR stands for mixed reality. And so fun fact, Brand XR is launching Detroit's first augmented reality mural at the Elephant Room the night before Thanksgiving. So people can download the Electrify app, point their camera at the art, and watch it come to life.
Thank you. Hey everyone, thanks for coming out, especially one day before Thanksgiving. You know, that's really awesome. So, so my name is Moody. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Brand XR. And for the uninitiated, XR is a catch-all term for augmented, virtual, and mixed reality. So with Brand XR's no-code platform, someone with zero coding knowledge will be able to create their own XR experience in minutes. Our journey started 2 years ago when we created 3 virtual reality experiences for NASA's Kennedy Space Center. We created a virtual tour, we created a 3D model of the entire solar system, and we created an astronaut training experience. Here is astronaut John McBride touring the International Space Station in virtual reality. Since then, we've hustled our way to over $600,000 in revenue, and we've worked on various XR campaigns, from virtual tours of the U.S. national parks to citywide public immersive art installations in Orlando. All along this time, we've been building up an impressive tool set of XR content creation tools, and we've been testing real-world business cases for XR. The best use case for XR today is to try before you buy. Major retailers like IKEA, Amazon, and Wayfair are offering augmented reality experiences that allow customers to try products in their own spaces or even on their own faces without ever spending a dime. And the data shows that this stuff is really working. House has said their AR app is converting 11 times better than their website. People are spending 3 times longer playing around with the furniture, seeing if it fits in their spaces, doesn't match my carpet, doesn't match my walls, and they're buying. Also, it's reducing the return rate to almost nothing because all the users know exactly what the product looks like, so there's no surprises when it shows up at their doorstep. The problem is that most companies don't have XR resources. XR is built on top of game engines, and most companies, like he could attest to, don't have game developers on the staff. So they need to hire massive teams to build these things. It's kind of like where the web was in the early 90s. It's time consuming to build these experiences, it's very costly, and the knowledge required to build them is extremely specialized. That's why we're creating Brand XR's no-code platform. This will allow anyone, even me, a business person, with zero coding experience, to build my own XR experience that will really move the needle for my business. You can upload your own 3D models or 360 photos and use our drag and drop tools to create and publish your experience. Our go-to-market strategy is to target the over 120,000 marketing, web development, ad agencies that are currently asked about these XR experiences from all of their clients. And when they finally land one of those clients, they get to call someone like Brand XR to build it for them. And we will charge them big money for that. So with this, with our tool, we're now allowing the agencies to execute these projects with their current staff, designers, marketers, business people, and they can create their own experiences and take the lion's share of that revenue. So, if you haven't heard of XR, it's going to be huge. Every major company out there is in the market. Facebook, Apple, Google, Microsoft, they all have a horse in the race. This is the picture. If you can find me a market that's growing at this rate, sign me up, I want to invest. The competitive landscape out here looks kind of like this. There's 3 major options you can do if you want to create your own XR experience. You can hire an agency, which is pretty damn easy, but it's going to cost you. You can build your own internal team, which is a hell of a lot harder than that. And, or you can use competitive software products that are out there. But all the software products out there are missing the point in that they're all developer tools. You still need to pay an engineer 6 figures to work these tools to create something beautiful for you. I'm lucky to work with an amazing team. My co-founder, Kunal, he is the co-founder of the Orlando Game Space. So this is a co-working space focused solely on video game development and emerging technologies. This gives us the ability to scale our small team of 5 to over 50 for these massive projects like the NASA one. My experience is in business and venture capital. I worked for a Silicon Valley venture capital firm, invested in an augmented reality headset, and then created my own VR headset company, and we were kind of the cherry on top of a lot of VR marketing campaigns. So my time is up, and we're launching our platform in early 2019. So we're accepting beta testers now to come on our platform. I would love to talk to anyone who has agency contacts, and we're also hiring Unity developers.
Great. Questions for Moody? Got a couple people taking pictures over here on the right.
Where are you located?
We're located here out of Ann Arbor Spark, and then our development office is in Orlando, Florida.
Right here.
I saw your 4 categories and choices for customers, but in terms of the actual user experience and what they get as an end product, how different is it? How different is BrandXR compared to the other 3 options in terms of both quality and...
Yeah, so really we're basing this experience off of Squarespace. I love Squarespace because you cannot create an ugly website on Squarespace. They literally will not allow you to. So that's how templatized our platform is going to be. The first market we're focused on is product visualization, the whole try before you buy market. And then we plan to expand from there into virtual training, virtual tours.
So on a one-to-one basis, you feel you're competitive enough to compare that your final product?
Oh yeah, nobody ever cares about the people who built the team, they just care about the end product.
So end product wise, you're fine, so they're getting basically what they would get in other choices.
Yep.
All right.
Other questions? Yes, right here.
Is there a learning curve on how to understand and implement this on your own?
No, it'll be very easy. So come 2019, we're going to have a freemium version, so I encourage everyone to jump on and try it. You can make very simple experiences like create your own augmented reality business card that maybe pulls up a marketing video for you or pulls up a 3D model of one of your products, for instance. So it'll be very easy to work with.
If it's no code, what's the integration with their existing pros experience? Does this integrate with their website or their mobile apps? Right?
Yeah, so it's all based on the Unity platform, and the beauty about working with Unity is that you can build once and then you can publish on a number of different platforms with kind of minor tweaks. So right now, a majority of the experiences are mobile because everyone has a smartphone in their pocket. Not everyone has a VR headset, in their pocket or even in their home. So now a majority of the experiences are mobile. Come 2022, 2023, Apple is going to be coming out with XR glasses, and when that happens, that's when the big platform shift is going to occur.
So a standalone app or part of their existing app?
Oh yeah, we have an SDK, so we can put it into existing apps. We're talking with some major league sports teams about putting our capabilities into their apps.
Other questions? All right, looks like that's it. Thank you. And our last pitch of the night is Sidework. And Matt Deal is here from Toledo to pitch Sidework to us. And Sidework is the newest web and mobile app specializing in connecting homeowners with individuals and small companies for help with their outdoor chores without ever having to leave the app or physically interact with a hired individual. And so they're based in Toledo, so we appreciate Matt driving up and being with us tonight for this. And fun fact, Sidework was started from a personal frustration with not having an easy solution to get yard work done while out of town.
All right, so good evening. My name is Matt Deal, co-founder of the newest gig economy app, Sidework.
Thank you all for spending your extremely valuable time to be here this evening. After all, time has become one of the most valuable resources in today's society. Between work, friends, family, hobbies, not to mention your housework, there literally is not enough time in the day. And this is why Sidework was born. Sidework is the newest web and mobile app that specializes in connecting homeowners with rated and reviewed individuals for help with their outdoor chores without ever having to leave the app or physically interact with the individual. You come home from work, kick off your shoes just to realize you're late for another kid's after-school activity. And as this happens time and time again, your list of chores, including cleaning out the gutters, raking the leaves, trimming the bushes, and now shoveling the snow, continues to pile up. Your traditional hiring method requires research, reaching out to multiple individuals, collecting quotes, and still a physical transaction. Now you may be thinking, well, what about Angie's List? While sites like these are great for your full kitchen remodel or electrical work, you aren't likely to get a fair price on your simple outdoor chore and you still have to put extra legwork into the job process. Sidework solves this. We allow home and property owners to post their detailed job to our online marketplace and continue on with the rest of their day. It is that simple. You build your job, which includes what needs to be done, your service address, any specific details, time frame to be completed, and at least 2 photos, and submit your job. Side workers in your area are then notified of your job and have the opportunity to request hire, all while keeping your physical address hidden. And these hire requests come straight to your inbox or phone as a push notification, allowing you to see the side worker and their ratings and reviews. Once hired, you're given a masked phone number, allowing you to communicate privately and freely throughout the entire job process. And once the job is completed, the transaction is handled within the app, allowing this entire process to happen without ever requiring a physical interaction between the 2 parties. We're currently acquiring users through social media content and ads, Craigslist, community events, and also starting to partner with local schools and organizations, giving them a promotional code that will give back to their organization as they market our app to their members. Sidework is not limited to urban areas like most gig economy apps, allowing us to capture a larger market by having a presence in the smaller rural communities as well, as it only takes a few ambitious side workers to have a viable workforce. The residential lawn care and landscape industry is an $88 billion industry alone, and Sidework is tapping into the countless of other chores that homeowners often find themselves needing help with. Where post-revenue and jobs are being completed through the app successfully with positive reviews. This is a proven marketplace where homeowners are searching for an efficient, cost-effective way to find help with their tedious household chores with minimal effort. We differ ourselves by focusing on low-skill, simple jobs that do not require strict scheduling. We also focus on connecting the homeowner with small businesses and individuals, allowing that homeowner to get a better price when larger companies will typically inflate the price of small one-off jobs due to them simply not being worth their time. We offer a complete start-to-end experience where the app handles every aspect of your job. You never have to leave the app, from finding the help to communication and reviews, as well as payment. Sidework is on the forefront of how we will find help with our household chores in the near future. We are your neighborhood workforce. And today we're here to basically meet contacts for people that are experiencing growth as well as investment. So if anybody has any connections, let me know.
All right, questions for Matt?
Who's your typical side worker? What are
Typical side worker, it can range. It can be somebody that is laid off. It can be somebody that is not getting enough hours at their factory job and wants to pick up a job once a week to supplement their weekend activities. It can be somebody that's just really ambitious that wants to
make extra money. And one of the things that we're really trying to start push now is small companies. So people who go out there with their trailers and they have the equipment and they may have their own LLC, but it's just them. We want to get them more work without having to go out there and find the leads.
Yes.
A couple questions actually. First of all, how do you do the payment gateway wise? You're saying that people, there's money being exchanged.
Yes.
How are you getting the cut from that?
Okay, so we take 20% of every job.
So does that mean that money's going into an escrow and then you guys release it?
Stripe uses, we use Stripe on the back end.
Okay. And then my other question is, what do you do in terms of, how do I put this? Keeping it so it's only used for the platform you intended it, like it's.
Yeah. So those are details we haven't really worked out yet. We haven't ran across anything like that. So right now we're small enough where I check out everybody that signs up personally, and also with Stripe on the back end, they have to enter in their bank account, their name, last four of their social security, and they do their own little identity check as well before that they're allowed to be on the app.
Question after that.
Yep.
As far as insurance goes, let's say somebody goes to somebody's house and does some work.
Yep.
There's some kind of mishap that
Yes, absolutely.
Are you guys liable?
Great question. So in our terms and conditions, we're not. We do require all side workers to have all licenses and insurances that they need for any particular job that they request hire. So by signing onto the platform and agreeing to our terms and condition, they're saying that they have the applicable credentials to do any job that they pick up.
Other questions? In the back right there. Go for it.
Cool. I was just curious, how do you guys start your, like an initial town, for example? Like if I download it, want to use it, and there's no one in the town to,
Yeah.
contract out to, and I'll be like, screw this. Like how do you put that initial seed in?
Right, so right now we started in Toledo, so that's where we built the company. So no one outside of 60 miles can sign up and post a job on the app. So we can control that. Excuse me, you can sign up from wherever, but we're controlling where you can post a job. If there's no one to pick up the job right now, I've had to go out and do a job before. But yeah, we could contract out. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, we would be able to, if it came down to it, we would be able to contract that job out to make sure that the consumer was still happy with the end result.
Cool. Right here.
How do you set the prices for the different jobs to make sure that the workers are getting paid fairly and the people are getting a good deal?
Yeah, good question. So what we do right now is we have a high level job category and then a low level job category, subcategory, and then we base that off size. So lawn care is acreage. Right now for leaf pickup we do based off amount of trees, large and small. And I kind of looked at other apps and other companies that do this type of thing, and I made ours considerably lower, but still enough where the value proposition for the side worker is much higher than any gig economy app out there.
Gotcha. So can the person requesting the job doesn't set the price at all?
Correct. It's all so they know exactly what they're going to pay. The side worker knows exactly what they're going to make. So there's no price haggling.
Last question in the back.
How big is your community now?
Current team right now?
Community of workers.
Okay, so we have over 6.
Second part of the question is when do you expect to come here with Arbor?
And then, okay, good question.
How will you grow your community here?
Yeah, so right now we haven't spent much on advertising. A couple $100 through Facebook ads, that's it. We've only been launched for 3 months. So we've had over 600 people sign up for the app, about half side workers, half homeowners. And how we plan on growing would be to get the products right in Toledo right now. We're building out some great features this winter, and hopefully we can find some investment and be able to find people to consult with that have gone through growth to really get guidance in that area.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you. And we're going to transition now to our community announcements time. So great job to all the pitchers. That was great. Excellent to hear about these variety of different business models and businesses tonight. If you have a community announcement, feel free to come on over here in front of this whiteboard and line up. And then we'll have each of you come up here one at a time right in front of the podium to make your announcement. So if you have a meetup or a position you're hiring for, you're looking for a position, looking for a collaborator, come on down in the line and you can make your 1 to 2 minute announcement. So keep it to that time frame, please. The last thing I'll say is once you finish, you can write any of your information up here, like contact info and email, so people can get in touch with you afterwards. So Angela, if you want to be the first one. Throw this off.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Angela Kuyava and I'm the manager of the DeSci Accelerator. For those of you who are not familiar, our accelerator is here in Ann Arbor. We are a University of Michigan organization but open to any early stage technical startup. We will be running our next cohort in June of 2019, but applications are open right now. And so we are going to interview and review companies through January. We close our applications in early February. So if you are interested, apply early. What we provide, you will spend 4 months with us. We'll provide you office space. We invest up to $50,000 in your company. One of the really unique things about coming to DeSci is that we run an intern cohort simultaneous to the startup cohort. And so we recruit, hire, manage, and pay, this is key, 10 interns from the University of Michigan, and about 90% of their workload is for the companies who are in our program. We also will have an info session. I know it's only November, but on January 17th at 6 p.m. I'll put that all in the meetup so you know where to look. You can RSVP on Eventbrite. And then last, we have one portfolio company that is not here tonight, Ash and Erie. They make clothing for shorter guys, and they are looking for a customer service manager. I will also post that job posting in the meetup, but if you know of anybody who might be interested for working for a really great, cool tech startup, show them to that job posting. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Charlotte Dillard, and I am the incubator coordinator for Ann Arbor Spark. And I know you've heard a lot of Spark, this and that. We are a nonprofit organization for economic development, and we have a business incubator here in town on Liberty. What I wanted to announce is that we have an event that we're hosting tomorrow called Tech Homecoming. And it is basically a job fair, and it's going to be held at the Graduate, and it will run from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. And so there are a number of different local companies, big and small, that are looking to hire. And we know that a lot of folks have come back in town for the holidays, and we'd like to have you come on out and join us for a little networking, some info gathering, and some light refreshments.
Sure. If any of you are going home to other parts of Michigan, you might want to check. There's 7 other of these that are going on tomorrow night.
Sweet.
My name is Kevin Spangler. I started a local pedicab business in Ann Arbor, Michigan called Boober Tours. I was actually homeless a little over 2.5 years ago when I started this company. But before that, I was in and out of jail, addicted to drugs and alcohol. I got my 5th DUI and 3rd resisting arrest, and I found I was having a son. So I made a commitment to never get in trouble again so I could be a positive role model to my son. I got out of jail with a new determination to take care of my son. I saved up all my money working 4 jobs to get my first pedicab, and now I own 20 pedicabs, 3 billboard trailers, and a mobile billboard truck. And what I've been working on for about 2 years ago, my goal was to turn this into $1 million company in Michigan. But December 2 years ago, I was like, why stop at $1 million? Why not make this $1 billion company? So I put a plan together. And so I've been working on it the last couple years. I have a halfway done app. So I'm looking for an app developer and also looking for investors. So I'll be at the Pizza House after this.
Great.
Hey everyone, my name is Scott Gosey, and I got a couple announcements, so I'm going to go fairly fast. One, if you liked the startups that you saw here today and you decide that you want to make your own, come visit us at Ann Arbor Coffee House Coders. We're a meetup group that lets people learn how to code, and we go from very beginners all the way up to experts, and it's a fun atmosphere. So find us on Meetup at Ann Arbor Coffee House Coders. Secondly, if you already have a startup but you need some place to go to actually have an office, we have the Tech Brewery, which is a co-working space up on Jones Drive. Started by Doug Song, we have now a bunch of entrepreneurs and remote workers up there, so if you're looking for a desk to rent out and build your next company up to that $1 billion evaluation, come check us out. And then other than that, if you're looking for jobs in Ann Arbor, specifically startup jobs, you can check out Ann Arbor Sparks Job Board, annarborusa.org/jobs, and it's run by TrueJob, which is a company that I've built with my co-founder Mike. If you have any questions, come to me at the back of the room. Otherwise, thanks.
Hello, I'm Levi. I'm a Michigan Tech biomedical and electrical engineer student graduating in December. I'm looking for a job. I have some experience building 2 satellites through my school for NASA and the Air Force Research Lab, so I have some technical expertise in like the computers that were on the satellites. My main interest goes towards space and the biological systems for the biomedical engineering. So come talk to me if you're looking to hire. Thanks.
Great.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm actually Levi's brother, but we look alike. Yeah, that's the announcement. No, so I'm a co-founder and CTO of My Swim Pro, which is a swimming technology company. We have an app that allows you to have training plans, workouts, videos to help you get better at swimming and workout. We're expanding into the triathlon market in 2019, and we're looking to hire iOS developers or anyone else, but iOS developers are our #1 priority right now. So if you are an iOS developer or you know anything about swimming, want to talk shop with me, come find me at Pizza House. Thanks.
Good evening. My name is John Haupt. I'm the founder and president of Scarecrow Technologies. We build devices that protect properties from wildlife damage. This is a startup. I'm looking to collaborate with an electrical engineer that can help me design or help me with the audio component for a minimal viable product. I envision using a audio development board, some ancillary components, and the requisite programming. If you have those skills and you're interested, please see me after the meeting. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is April Davis. I'm the president of Breakout Marketing Group here in Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor. I'm here for one reason. My client, Ken Lee, who graduated from here, asked me to help him market his co-working space, which is located at 323 South Main Street. So I'm here today to invite you to come and check us out, come and help him. It's underground. He's a new student. He asked me to help, so that's why I'm here. I'll be, and my favorite thing is pizza, so I will be at the pizza place.
Hi, my name's Adam. I'm the last one, so I'll go super slow. I'm the co-founder of Karmata. Karmata is a team communication app that helps better organize your conversations and keep the team priorities focused, so you don't have to spend 2 hours per day on the app like the average Slack user. We are looking for introductions to decision makers at small to medium-sized businesses that could use an internal communication tool. So I will be at Pizza House. Please come and see me.
Awesome. Thanks for all the announcements. Keep us in the know. Our next Ann Arbor New Tech, as we wrap up tonight, is going to be Tuesday, December 18th. So make sure to come back for that. Bring a friend. And we do have spaces open for pitches in December and January, although January is already filling up. So if you know someone who should pitch, or if you want to pitch your company, get in touch with us at organizers@A2NewTech.com, or .org, sorry. And we're always on the third Tuesday of the month. So if you want to, get in your calendar, set up a repeating reminder, you'll never miss us. Ideally, what we look for in people that pitch is that you've done some customer validation, that you've spoken with some prospective customers at least, and hopefully you've built a prototype. A lot of our companies tonight, we're a little bit further along that. We often have people that are earlier stage, and so don't be scared away. If you're at that earlier stage interested in pitching, reach out and get in touch with us and we'll figure out if you're a good fit. Like I mentioned, you can find us on our Slack channel at madeina2.org. madeina2.com. My domains tonight. madeina2.com/Slack. And also, if you haven't checked it out, go to madeina2.com. It's a page, kind of a directory of Ann Arbor technology companies. You may want to list your company on there. There's directions for how to do that. Or you can just check out who else is in the area and learn what other companies are here in town. And so, yeah, we'd love to hear your pitch. If you have a pitch for December, come and talk to me afterwards. I'll be at Pizza House afterwards. And then Pizza House is at 618 Church Street. So I'm going to head over there right now, get some pizzas ordered. And so come join us there. And thanks for being here tonight. We'll see you next month.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I need a restaurant, I need something like that.